What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? How y'all doing tonight? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if my mic is clear. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. If we good to go. Swag bud, Herb co-prime today. Oh man. Y'all must be from Twitter. My folks from Twitter know what happened. We gonna talk about that a little bit too, but I actually want to make that a video. I actually want to talk about that in the video, but we gonna touch on it a little bit. NYC in the building, man. What's going on, New York? What's up, my HBCU fam? Does Shiloh have to sit out a year if he transfers? No, I think that they said that he's gonna be a graduate transfer, so he's gonna be able to play immediately. I don't know how they did that because I ain't heard about him getting no degree, but hey, hey, you know how things go. People can make things work. Hello, Swag Buzz. Hope all is well. I won't be into the chat because I had a death in the family. Shot 9 times. One was to the head. I most definitely was hit. You was hit one on the one that got hit much. Oh, you were the only one that didn't get hit. Peace to everyone. Erica Spearman, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your family is okay, and I will keep you in my prayers. I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope you're doing okay. And as for keeping your name in his mouth if I see him on site. Who you talking about, Finley? He was the only one here. Okay, okay, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Erica. What do you think about the drop pass? Hey, it was a rough pass. That pass was, oh, that was the easiest pass you could ever catch. So it was a big drop. But I felt like even if he would have caught that pass, they would have still lost because the defense wasn't stopping nothing. NCCU was doing what they wanted to do on defense. So I mean on offense. So I felt like even if he would have caught it and they would have went to a double overtime, they still would have eventually won. I just felt like NCCU just had their number. They just had their number. The defense wasn't ready. From what I was told, they lost a lot of players on defense, so they didn't really have their regular rotation. And it is what it is. Oh, these are off script. I mean, hey man, I let people talk, man. I'm not gonna even get to the back and forth with other channels. It ain't even worth it, honestly. We all covering the same thing, so it ain't even worth doing all that. Can't blame it on the past. NCCU was doing this thing. Yeah, man, they were doing their thing, man. They played well. That stiff arm from their running back. Yeah, man, the boys came to play. They were physical. They were physical. They out muscled Jackson State. And when it was crazy because I was on the field. I was on the field the day before because I had the press this time for the Celebration Bowl. And so I was on the field the day before when they had practice. And I was looking at North Carolina Central guys, and I was like, dang, they guys kind of big. They had some big boys on their team. And even the security lady I was talking to at the stadium, she was even saying, yeah, North Carolina Central boys bigger than Jackson State boys. I was like, "Are you sure?" She was like, "Yeah." I looked at them closely. She was like, "They way bigger than that Jackson State boys." And I was like, "Dang!" So, hey, they was able to outmuscle them. Also, they got in JSU head. Yeah, JSU wouldn't have won the SWAC with that rotation. Oh, definitely not. That fake punt and trick play hurt bad. Yeah, I mean he gambled. The coach he threw everything at Jackson State. He threw everything at. He played to win the game. That's what you do when it's the last game of the season. You put it all out there on the line, and that's what he did. Some of the coaching for Jackson State, I don't understand throwing the ball. I don't understand throwing the ball on third and fourth when you have 1,000-yard plus rusher on the 1 yard line. You on the 1 yard line. The game is on the line. I would have gave it to Savion at least one of those plays. That's just me personally, because I feel like Savion would have got a yard. You know, it kind of felt like Pete Carroll when he was coaching in the Super Bowl with the Seahawks, how he didn't run Marshawn Lynch right at the goal line. So I kind of felt like Deion didn't care. I think he cared. I think he wanted to go out a winner. I think he really wanted that win because he didn't want to go out a loser. You know, you going into Colorado as a loser, you wouldn't want that. But so Savion Stan, hey, we haven't heard anything about him leaving or entering the transfer portal yet. I think he should stay. I mean, I think he'll be the man at Jackson State. He'll be the starting running back. So I think he should stay. Definitely think he should stay. It's a lot of guys that enter the transfer portal, and I was like, why are you entering the transfer portal? You didn't get no film. You didn't get that many touches. Like what? Like you need to stay. You need to stay at Jackson State. I was really shocked Kevin Coleman left. I hated that he left because I thought he was going to try to split off from Travis Hunter and just kind of do his own thing, you know. And I thought he was going to stay at least 1 year and kind of be the face of, you know, Jackson State, because I think TC Taylor was the wide receivers coach. So I'm thinking that he probably had developed a relationship with TC Taylor and probably want to stay there at least his first year to make sure things transition smoothly at Jackson State. That's what I thought would have happened with somebody like Kevin Coleman and a lot of those other guys. But hey, man, they testing the waters, man. I can't be mad at them. You know, they want to go somewhere else and see, you know, if the grass is greener. So I can't be mad at them. JSU has so many weapons they haven't been used. Yeah, I hope Quay Davis stays. You know, I definitely can see him being a star at Jackson State. So I hope he stays too. Davius Richard was built, looked like he was 220, 230. Yeah, they had some big boys. What's going on, Miss Gowdy? Shout out to you. Shout out to Miss Gowdy. If the tight end coming back, he should and be the go-to end. I forgot the other tight end name. I think number 86. I think he's from Ridgeland, Mississippi. He's coming back. He announced that he's coming back. I wonder how many JSU transfer are going to go to Colorado. I think about 10. I think Cam Silman, you will see Cam Silman. Travis Hunter talking about he testing the waters and he ain't made up his mind, but I think he gonna go to Colorado or Georgia. I think it's gonna be Colorado or Georgia. You know, but I think he's probably gonna go to Colorado. I think it's gonna be him. I said Cam Silman already. I don't know if Shane Hooks. Did Shane Hooks enter the portal? I don't know if he entered the portal. But I think most of the good players that you've seen at Jackson State, they're going to follow Coach Prime because they got the resources they want there. They'll be able to pay them in Pac-12. So, you know, they're going to have the light. And so I can't blame them for going. But I think Jackson State is going to have some light too. So I wouldn't mind seeing a lot of guys stay at Jackson State because everybody's going to be trying to watch Jackson State next year because they're going to want to see if this thing is going to fall off the rails. They're going to want to see that. So I think a lot of those guys will do themselves some justice by staying there another year. Ain't Shane a senior? Yeah, he a senior. I think he need to enter the draft. If I'm Shane Hooks, you got two viral posts. You got two viral posts of you catching the ball, doing crazy catches, and then you've been putting up numbers all season. I'm striking while the iron is hot. I'm entering the draft this year. They know who he is. That one-handed catch, that was like some Odell Beckham Jr. type catch. And it went viral. It had millions of views. So I would definitely go into the draft this year if I was Shane Hooks. But I'm going to open up the phone line so y'all can call in. Let us know what you think about the game. What you think about Travis Hunter leaving. Definitely a sad thing. I wanted him to be the face for HBCU. I felt like if Travis Hunter stayed, Jackson State would have been fine, especially when it came to exposure. I felt like that would have forced the big media platforms to keep covering Jackson State. But, you know, he made the decision to leave. I can't be mad at him about that. You know, he's doing what he want to do with his life. And we can't be mad at these kids for doing what they want to do with their lives. So let me open up the phone line. Give me 1 second. All right, the phone lines are open. Y'all can call in. Phone number right there, 657-390-4814. You can call in, get your thoughts on the game. What you think about all the players leaving Jackson State? Do you think they're going to be all right? Does TC Taylor have a lot of work to do? I know he does, but I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to be able to build a good staff and a good team around him. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Give me 1 second, y'all. MEAC has better trenches. SWAC got better skill players. I don't know, man. The MEAC running backs been good too. I like the MEAC running backs. All right, we got a call coming in. Let's see who this is. Give me 1 second, y'all. What's going on, Call You Live? Talk to me.
Hey man, I just want to ask, what's up with the SWAC losing all these celebration bowls, man? Like, is it something that the MEAC does that makes them so successful, or is just the SWAC falling short?
I don't know, man. To me, I felt like they a little bit overconfident. When you're undefeated and you never lost a game before, you're gonna come in the game like they're overconfident. And then all the stuff that was happening with Coach Prime, and I felt like that was distracting for them. And then you have to understand the MEAC, they don't have a SWAC, they don't have a MEAC championship game, so they have extra time to prepare for the next team. And you know they probably was preparing for Jackson State the whole time because they knew Jackson State was gonna win the SWAC championship. So they have a little advantage, but hey, Jackson State had enough time off too, so I'm not gonna make that excuse for them. They just got outplayed. They got outplayed and they got outcoached.
Right.
What else you got for me?
Man, appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you for the call. All right, let me get the next caller. What's going on, Call You Live? Talk to me.
Yeah, how you doing, my brother? First of all, I'd like to thank you, brother. You do great content. I love listening to you.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Yes, I was great game on Saturday. I love Deion Sanders. I love Jackson State. Just thinking back, reflecting on the game, I thought when Jackson State threw the Hail Mary to Travis, they should have went for two. The defense was on the field a long time. You had I forgot the team, North Carolina A&T. Pardon me if I'm saying it wrong. You had them on the ropes. I think that's when you go for all the marbles and get out of there.
You know what? That might have been a good idea. That might have been a good idea. A lot of people would have got on Coach Prime if he wouldn't have been successful with it. But I think that probably would have worked because they wouldn't have been expecting that. They'd have been expecting you just to go to overtime.
They always succeeded. Jackson State wasn't stopping the run. They was getting guys up and down the field. And I thought when they had that opportunity, I think you always have that play, that 2-point play. That game would have played in your pocket if it ever come down to it. So I just had to see that Jackson State has had a lot of momentum to see the players leave. I was wondering, I think I read something. I was wondering what was Niles Gaddy. I don't know if it's true. They said Deion suspended him because he was a couple minutes late for a meeting. I said that's kind of awful, especially if you're leaving and you're giving them young men your word. You know, how can you hold them accountable and you're leaving yourself? So
yeah, I'm hoping that isn't true. You would, hold him out of a championship game for being a couple of minutes late. But I understand Coach Prime is kind of old school when it comes to stuff like that, and he's teaching these kids life lessons. He's teaching them life lessons when it comes to being on time and stuff like that. So lessons like that do work, but I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. I would have kept him in the game. I would have let him start the game, honestly, or just held him out for a quarter or something like that.
Absolutely. Especially Coach Prime has held Jackson State hostage for a while. I don't know. I thought Jackson State, he shouldn't have been allowed to coach. But I know that Coach Prime, he had, if you play spades, he had the big joke in his hand with his son. And it's kind of hard to juggle two teams. And I thought that Jackson State should have pulled the plug and said, you know what, we love Shador, we love Shiloh. I think that you have to take your talents to Colorado. And we just try to put the best product forward. And you can kind of see Jackson State made some uncharacteristic errors defensively.
Yeah.
Knowing that, in my humble opinion, knowing that Coach Prime wasn't coming back. It's kind of hard to go all out for a guy. And, this is the last time you'll see him. That's my
Yeah.
humble opinion.
And then it just like all the hoopla over it. It was just like the energy felt like, okay, he's leaving. It just didn't feel right to me. Honestly. The energy didn't feel right. Uh it was too much of a spectacle. Like, okay, this is his
True.
last game. I felt like they should have just went on and went with TC and let him go to Colorado. But I agree with you there. But he wanted to coach his last game. He wanted to finish. And I hate they ended in a loss because, man, that would have been an accomplishment to go 13-0, be the only team to ever do that and win the Celebration Bowl. That would have been an awesome accomplishment. But hey, NCCU denied it.
Yeah. It was just too much going on. I thought there was just too much going on for the young men. Like, you think about, well, what's your next move? You think about a whole lot of things. I think eventually, emotionally, the dam broke, right? I just don't think that you can expect 18 to 22-year-olds to play like professionals, right? I don't think they had anything left in the tank. Just a miraculous play by Travis, even get him into the overtime. So we have not seen Jackson State get gouged like that. It was just basically they just ran the ball. Wasn't a whole lot of throwing, just ran the ball and out tough Jackson State. And it's kind of hard to look a coach in the eyes. He's trying to dig deep, and he's got 1 foot. He's getting on a private plane and leave after the game. So
and the crazy thing about it, that last play of the game, I don't understand why Shadul just didn't chuck it up to Travis. That's what I would have did. I would have just chuck it up to Travis and let him make a play. The best play on the field. I would have just chucked it up to him and let him make a play. Because I watched that play a few times over, and he was open to where if Shadul would have led him a little bit, he might could have made a play on the ball. But that's the benefit of hindsight. I understand Shadul was under pressure, so he probably couldn't see him like that. And when Shadul threw the ball, Travis, he held his hands up like, "What are you doing? Like, I'm wide open." So he probably just didn't see him. He was under duress.
Mm-hmm. Question before I get off. What do you think? Do you think Travis is going to make his way to Colorado?
I think so, but hey, you don't know what the bag is going to look like from Georgia and USC. They probably going to have a big bag for him. So he's probably going to have a lot to think about. They got all that money to give. So I wouldn't.
I don't think he's going.
You don't think he's going to Colorado?
No, I don't think he's going to go. I would be shocked for a number 1 player in the country to go to a team that's 1-11 and start all over that. And he's from Georgia, where it's warm, to go up there. I don't know. I think that if that's my son, right? You came to my home and you told me and my wife that you had my son's best interest, and we're going to make history. And then you bolt 1 year, less than a year that my son was there. No, I don't think we'll follow you. I don't think so, because now you're looking out for the best interest of you and not in the best interest of these players, right? So I think Coach Prime should have been up and said, hey, I'm going to be here 3-4 years, and I'm going to see what happens. So, if I'm Travis's dad, he's not going up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're not going to make you look good.
Yeah.
For all these years.
I told my friend the exact same thing. I told him the exact same thing. If that was my son and you had my son go on national TV, take off this hat, commit to Jackson State, saying I'm gonna do it for my people and all this.
Thank you.
And then you leave, like, no, I wouldn't have been shocked that he would have went to Florida State. Honestly, he would have went where he originally wanted to go, because Coach Prime, the dream is gone now. The HBCU dream that he had planned is gone now. He's gone to Colorado. I would have just went where I wanted to go originally. So I wouldn't be shocked, but
I agree.
It's sad, man. It's really a sad thing, though, honestly.
Yes, sad. You have a gentleman on there, the older brother, Love. I don't know if his name is
Mr. Ford, yeah. You probably gonna call him tonight.
I can listen to him all day, every day. He's talking about a walking encyclopedia,
right?
And he made a valid point. I'm gonna get off the phone and said that there's no way Coach Prime and his followers are going to regenerate that magic that they had down in Jackson State. And I totally agree. So let me get off the line, my brother. Keep up the good work, brother. I love listening to you.
All right, thank you for the call.
Thank you, my brother. Peace.
All right. All right, let me get to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. What you got for me?
It's sad that Travis Hunter's leaving, but I think he made a good decision because he has a really good coach right now, and that he's going to make it a long way.
Oh, so you think he's going to Colorado?
Yeah, just because of Dion, because I think that's the best choice for him because he's going to make it a far away if he does do that.
Okay. All right, I feel you. Well, thank you for the call.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, see you.
All right, let me get to this caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hi. Yes, I was just calling to let you all know I did think the game was good, but I don't think you all are giving Central credit for being a good team.
How we not giving them credit? I just said they outplayed them, they outcoached them. How am I not giving them credit?
But I'm saying some of the other callers are coming in. I understand that you all expect to win or whatever the case may be. I get it, But there was some questionable calls there too, like the fumble that wasn't called when Travis Hunter actually pushed somebody down. It should have been a flag. There was also an incomplete pass. So there are some things that, had it not gone the other way and they had got scored, the score would have been worse than what it was.
I gave them the props. They did good. They played a great game. They did.
Well,
I can't hate on them.
So, and then the other guy that just got off the phone called them North Carolina A&T, which is something, I don't know if you saw the press conference from Trey Oliver, who actually got up there and said, they called them, the AD from Jackson State called them North Carolina A&T. That's their rival.
Yeah.
So the boys played with a chip on their shoulder. I mean,
they should.
A little bit more respect for them.
As they should. I mean, when you're the underdog, an undefeated team is never gonna respect you like that. They say they're gonna say the right things on camera, but if they've never been beaten, they're gonna always think that they can beat anybody, that you can't beat them.
I get it.
But they played a great game.
I get it. But at the same time, the Dion train is gone. I do think Jackson State will have a good team. I do think TC Taylor will, do the best with what he has. I definitely think he will do that. Now, whether they get back to the SWAC championship or not, we'll see. But I don't think they're going to roll over and die. I really don't. I think they'll be a formidable opponent next year.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the call.
All right.
I'm gonna get to the next caller. Thank you.
All right.
Uh-huh. You said y'all ain't giving NCCU they props. All right, hold on, y'all. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's going on with you, brother, man? I enjoy your show, man. You got one of the most positive shows out there, man.
Thank you.
Like I was, like what I've been saying, man. This definitely is definitely a. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It's an eye opener for us as HBCU fans. We definitely going to have to, we definitely going to have to give back to our programs as we see, man. It's just turned into big business right now. Where it's always been there, but now the markets have flooded. So players know their worth. Social media letting them know what's going on, out here in the world, man. And we got to be able to compete. I went to Jackson State. My whole family went to Jackson State. I was telling my mother, I got to put some plans together to give back as well, because we don't want to have this happen again, And it's been a great 2 years, but to sustain that, we're going to have to bring the money.
Mm-hmm. I think TC is going to be all right, though. I think I wouldn't be shocked if Jackson State make it back to the SWAC championship again. They might not. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. They're not going to go undefeated, I don't believe, but I think they're going to represent the SWAC next year, I believe.
Oh, I feel that, man. I definitely feel that. I think, you know, the only team that we got to, you know, basically worry about is FAMU. You know, on the east side.
Yeah.
You know, they very explosive, well coached.
Yeah.
They got the experience. You know, we've been the only thorn in their side. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, hopefully we can, you know, I like the, you know, quarterback that's coming in, Philip Short. You know, I think he's going to be, you know, sustainable for us. So, yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to next year. I know it's going to be a lot, you know, there's going to be a lot of moving parts, but we can get some kids at the portal too.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're just
I
the
think
name of the game of college football
they
right
need
now.
to need to target a quarterback though. I mean, I like Philip Short.
You don't like Philip Short?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, try to get the best quarterback you can get. I want them to try to go after a four-star. I want them to shoot they shot at 5-star quarterbacks. Cause just think about it.
You're right, definitely.
A 5-star quarterback come to a HBCU, he gonna have all the light on him. He gonna bring exposure.
Yep.
He gonna bring people, you know, down there to watch him play. So I think a 5-star quarterback can definitely go to a HBCU and get it popping. You know, for real.
Definitely.
I think
definitely,
more so than a player like Travis, because Travis plays defense. You know, he plays defense and offense. He's wide receiver and a cornerback. But a quarterback is could be like the face of a school. So I think it would be even better if they can get like a 5-star quarterback. It probably never happened. It's pipe dream. I know that.
Yeah,
because
it's just a bag.
Yeah,
it's just a bag.
Yeah, 5 stars are rare.
You know, a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah,
a 5-star quarterback on the market. Because I got, you know, I got a kid that's in this. A 5-star quarterback going for about $3 million right now, man. Like if you just really want to tell the truth about what's going on, you know, Bryce Young got like 2.5. Like, you know, they checking those numbers. You know what I'm saying? So
the only way a 5-star quarterback go, the only way a 5-star quarterback go to a HBCU, he just really want to go to a HBCU. That's what it is.
HBCU, exactly.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
We can dream.
Yes, sir,
we can
man,
dream.
Good call, man. Yeah.
All right.
Man, you have a good one, man. I'll be calling in a lot more, bro.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Keep it up.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right.
What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing? Your name on the call ID is funny. It says just answer. Go ahead. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Well, I can't hear you because he's talking to you. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing all right. You might want to cut the stream off in the background so you can just talk to me on the phone, because you'll be trying to respond to that instead of what's on the phone.
Okay. Man, I love your show, man.
Thank you.
This right, bro?
Yeah.
Man, I love your show, brother. I watch you all the time on YouTube, man. I love it, man.
Thank you.
I'm waiting on my T-shirt.
Huh? Oh, your T-shirt? Yeah, I'm gonna plug the person that made the shirt, so you all can order one if you want one. Her name is Princess Creations. I put on my community post where I posted the shirt. I tagged her business in the comments. I pinned it, so y'all can go to that and reach out to her through email, and she can get you a shirt if you want a shirt or a hoodie. But what you got for me?
I want to talk about the game briefly.
Go ahead.
I'm a JSU alumni, and I'm definitely rooting for Jackson State. But I got to give NCCU credit. They came to play. They were well coached. The running game was tremendous. Jackson State could not stop the run. And I just felt that with the other call you had before, the other gentleman you spoke with, I think Coach Prime should have not been able to coach that game. I think it was a distraction for the players. He announced it either too soon that he was leaving, or maybe he announced it after the Celebration Bowl. And it was a distraction for them guys for him to be saying he's leaving, and he wanted to get it all and play for one game, knowing you're going to leave.
See, the thing about it is, I don't mind him announcing that he was going to leave, but he should have told Colorado, I'm not going to come up there and be doing Colorado stuff until after the Celebration Bowl. So just him going back and forth wearing Colorado paraphernalia, coming back, switching to Jackson State, it just felt weird. Making videos and posting stuff, like it felt weird. I can imagine what the players was thinking. You know, you got your coach, you trying to get ready for the Celebration Bowl, and your coach is up there making Colorado videos and trying to recruit for Colorado, and then coming back here and expecting y'all to lock in. So I feel like he should have just waited. See, because what Colorado was gonna say, nah, we're not gonna wait. They weren't gonna tell them no. They want him that bad. They weren't gonna tell him no. They would have said, okay, we'll wait on you. You just say, all right, so let me focus on this game, and then after the Celebration Bowl, that Sunday, the next day, I'm Colorado this, Colorado that. That's what I wish he would have did.
I agree. And I want to make another point.
Go ahead.
I feel when the coin toss was flipped, this is very important. We haven't stopped the NCCU all game. And when the coin toss was flipped and they called tails and it was heads, Shador should have said, we want to receive the ball. We had just scored the touchdown, so we had momentum. Why would you give their offense, let the offense get back on the field for our defense try to stop them? I think that was a bad play. Not a play, but a bad call. He should have let the offense go on there first. Well, we would score, and we have put the pressure on them. That's how I feel as well about that.
Well,
overtime.
Well, I kind of disagree. If this was the NFL, I would agree with you, because the NFL, you only have to score. Once you score, the game is over. So I would have gave it to Shadid then. But since both teams have to go, I understand he probably was like, let me put my defense on the field first, and then so if we get the stop.
All game, though.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if they
didn't stop them, the quarterback was running all over them guys. I mean, just disappointing. I'm still going to support Jackson State. That's my alumni, and went there, graduated from there, so still going to support. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I just feel like they wasn't prepared, and you're right. Coach Prime, you in Colorado talking about recruiting, and then you come back to Jackson State saying we're going to dominate.
Yeah.
It was out of order.
Yeah. That's just, I mean, but that's Coach Prime. That's his personality. He has a cocky personality, and he believes that his team is gonna win. And so his team takes on his persona. So they have a cockiness to them, which is okay to have, but you got to show up and show out when you're cocky like that. And NCCU felt disrespected, and they played with a chip on their shoulder, and they put it on them.
And I heard a lot of people that young man dropped that pass, and it's sad what people are saying about him. However, he's wide open.
Yeah.
He caught the ball, instead of cradling the ball in his arms, he tried to catch it with his hands. You got to make that catch.
Yeah.
Man.
See what it was? He was thinking about what he was going to do after the catch. And so that's why he dropped it, because he was already preparing to like celebrate the touchdown before he even caught the ball. And that's why he dropped it. Yeah. But I appreciate the call.
But thank you, man. Keep doing great content, man. I love it, and I'm gonna keep watching the show. It's very positive, man. You give a lot of information about HBCUs. God bless you. Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let me put the GOAT on. The GOAT is on the line. Let me get him on here. My guy. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me turn this down now.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going now?
Hey, man. Hey, it didn't end the way we wanted it, but it is what it is.
Oh yeah. I just want to congratulate North Carolina Central for being the national champs. I also want to congratulate Jackson State and the Jackson State family for a great year, memorable year, a year that will be talked about for many years to come. I don't want to sound negative, but I just got to say this. I believe that the white power structure in the NCAA is attempting to destroy Jackson State's football program. This whole thing of all these children running to the transfer portal, to me, this is a part of a conspiracy. So you have to understand that Jackson State was leading a movement to bring the bright lights back to HBCU football. And if you ask me, I think that there's a movement to punish Jackson State. But I'm going to say this, and I hope everybody will understand it. They can do anything they want. Jackson State ain't going nowhere. Jackson State going to be great tomorrow and the next day. I think Coach Prime is about 55 years old. Remember, Jackson State was started in 1877. They've been great since 1877. Somebody came there for 2 years, okay? We applaud you and we thank you. But Jackson State was great before he was even born. And Jackson State going to be great when he dead and gone off the scene. I just had to get that off my chest. But listen, now what you want me to do? You want me to hang on? Did you want anybody to?
Yeah, you can hang on. I'll get to a few more callers. So I want to ask you first.
Yeah.
Did you so what would you have let Coach Prime coach the game, or what do you think they should have did?
Yeah, I would have. Now it was a big distraction. I would like for everybody to go back and look at the interview. Tiffany Green and Jay Walker interviewed Rod Broadway, the former coach of Grambling, North Carolina Central, North Carolina A&T. Just listen. He prophesied the whole game. Go back. The show is called Black College Live. The show was done, I think, that Thursday. It was Thursday before the game, or either that Friday. Listen to what he said. Rod Broadway. Just put it in. Go to YouTube. Put in Black College Live. It's the one from the Mercedes-Benz Dome, and listen to everything Rod Broadway said. And he basically prophesied the whole game. He prophesied. He told you what was going to happen. And
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting that NCCU coach had Buddy Pugh and another coach from the MEAC helping him.
Close.
Yeah.
Listen, Rod Broadway has a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one half of his staff is down at Fort Valley State. Another part of his staff is at North Carolina Central. Okay, if you look at the head coach at North Carolina Central, the defensive coordinator at North Carolina Central, and about 3 or 4 more, all of them work for Broadway. See, you're not when you dealing against the MEAC and you talking about NCCU, North Carolina A&T, South Carolina State, not only they friends, they family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Broadway is real close with what's coach's name? Buddy Pugh. Buddy Pugh knows they're all real close. Did you see on the sideline the coach who was just fired at North Carolina A&T, Sam Washington and Buddy Pugh was on North Carolina Central sideline. At the end of the game, remember they had the whole team to come together? They were out there in the middle of the circle. All them guys is friends. They family.
Yeah.
That's what you're fighting against. That's why that game plan was so good that Central had. They all came together to put that game plan together.
Yeah.
Remember when South Carolina State played them last year, that game plan they had? Listen, Sam and them had put that game plan together. That wasn't just South Carolina State staff. Because them people right there, they wanted to show Dion, you can come in here with all that flash, but you don't run black college football. They've done that 2 years in a row. They've shown him.
Yeah.
You know, Buddy showed him, out-coached him. Then he got out-coached again by, what's coach's name at Central? Trey Oliver.
Yeah.
They showed him. See what they did, what the media did. When Dion came to Jackson, the media immediately anointed Dion as the best coach in black college football. They automatically said that Jackson State was the best, okay? But them people in the MEAC, they didn't appreciate it. And they put their differences aside to show him who they are. And the last 2 years, they've shown him.
Yeah. The SWAC should be getting together and having a war table or whatever and getting ready for the MEAC.
Well, you know, somebody called me last night, and this is what they asked me. They said, is it over for Jackson State? And I told them, hell no. The biggest thing at Jackson State now is the people that T.C. Taylor is going to surround himself with. I'm hoping and I'm praying that he don't pull that stuff that Dooley doing down there at Southern with that homeboy stuff. Go and get people whose resume tells you that they are quality and that they are championship coaches. If he does that, baby, Jackson State gonna continue to dominate.
Yeah.
But now if he comes in with this guy played with me and this my homeboy and all that mess, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, we don't need that. He definitely needs to do
No,
what Coach Prime did. Get
now,
high
one thing
school,
we got to give
get
Coach
college,
Prime credit for.
and
This guy went and got Dennis Thurman, who had led a defense in Baltimore in the NFL, led a defense with the New York Jets, NFL. Then he goes and get Mike Zimmerman, who had been a head coach, defensive coordinator, was once here in Atlanta with the Falcons. That's what I'm saying TC got. Now, let me just tell you this. I was kind of hurt today. We got the news. One of the guys we wanted to see come into the SWAC, be it Jackson State, be it Alabama State, his name is Quinn Gray. He was a quarterback at Florida A&M. He put in 6 years in the NFL. Great offensive mind. I was hoping that he would come to the SWAC. He's one of them quality coaches, championship coaches I've been telling you about. And we found out today he just accepted the job at Albany State down in Albany, Georgia. So we're happy for him, but we did want to see him come into the SWAC.
Well, let me get some of these other callers, Mr. Ford. You could just hold on for me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, y'all. What's going on? Caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC, SWAC Buzz, how you doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Man, I wanted to ask you, man, I've been going back and forth with friends and stuff ever since the game. We've been talking about those last few plays, man. We watched the game. I was pretty much like right on the end zone, and I could see Jackson. They went 2 pass plays, even though the tight end dropped the ball. Man, I feel like, man, they should have gave that damn ball to Wilkerson. I mean,
yeah, that's what I said.
I get that the line wasn't. Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. Jackson State line was getting their ass kicked the whole game, bro. Yeah. But man, just in me, I'm thinking like, man, damn, you can't quarterback sneak 1 yard, man. So I just wanted to ask you what you thought about that play, those plays, and then also I wanted to ask you about the interview, the interview before the game, the day before, man. I thought about Coach Ford when I was listening to Dion talk about. Dion was talking about, you know, all of the things that he had done while he was at Jackson, and he said I think he realized that, you know, I guess his differences with the president of the school. He kept saying, like, you know, he realized that, you know, changes don't start in the football department. They start, you know, and, you know, the other department. I think he was insinuating that he was talking about the president, and I was thinking about Coach Ford. But I wanted to ask if you could speak on the speech before the game and just talk a little bit about some of the play calling, because, man, it was so – even the 2-point conversion, like, man, he got on my nerves with that shit the whole year, man. It's just – Jackson shouldn't have lost that game, but I feel like he sabotaged the game by coming out telling people he was going to go to Colorado, and it caused all them players to go in the portal. I believe if Jackson would have had their full complement of players, I think they would have beat the shit out of Central. I don't even think the game would have been close, personally. But that's all I got, man. If you could speak on that, I greatly appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I already talked about the plays. I thought they should have gave it to Wilkerson one time to see what he can do with it, and then went for a throw and play on the last down if they wanted to do that. As for you know, the press conference that he did, or the interview that he did before the game, where he was insinuating the issues and stuff that he had. I mean, I've heard things, but I'm not gonna really say it because I don't know it to be fact. You know, him having issues with the president, you know, that's probably what it was, and some of the alumni boosters and stuff like that. But I don't know it to be fact, so I'm not just gonna put that out there. But you could definitely tell there probably was a problem between him and the administration that kind of ran him off and made him want to go do something else. But it is what it is. I mean, it's gone. It's over with now. We still got the administration that we got, and they got the coach they want, and so they got to build a program up and have a good Jackson State football team like they had before. I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate what Coach Prime did, but they can get close. Let me get to the next caller. Hold on. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it going now?
Okay, nice to talk to you, Mr. Ford. I just want to comment on the last caller. They were talking about the press conference on Friday before the game with Deion.
Yeah.
And you guys may remember me. I called about a week ago, but where I think Deion was trying to say he got a dose of reality. Remember one of the things he said in the press conference when he started saying that, he didn't have much exposure to HBCU. He was kind of new to it and everything like that. I think what he ran into was a dose of reality different. Mr. Ford, you have a background in HBCUs and everything like that. For somebody coming from the outside and want to move fast and got great ideas, he learned probably real quickly that things are just a little different in terms of how they move in the HBCU land. And I think he got frustrated. And he's the kind of guy, as you can tell, is very impatient.
Yeah.
So I think a combination of all this, remember he said all the things we wanted to do and everything like that. I think when you put it all together is that he got frustrated in terms of, implementing things he wanted to do, the speed with which things got done. And of course, the politics of probably being in the HBCU environment.
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw come through in terms of that interview.
And if I was to guess what he was talking about, I think he probably wanted to take Jackson State to another conference because he hinted on it. He hinted that he wanted to go to another conference. And I believe the administration probably was like, "Nah, we're gonna stay in the SWAC." And so
Ashley kept saying we want to be an FCS power. We're not interested in the FBS.
Yeah, I think so, gentlemen, and that's what I'm saying. I think when that became a reality to him, that took some wind out of his sail. He realized that, okay, this is not how I envisioned it, or perhaps how our initial conversation were when we were in the beginning of this process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think everybody's aware that he wanted to go to the next level, and I think that's kind of was like he said, hey, I did all I can or I thought I could do, and guess what? You know how it is, Mr. Ford. When somebody check out, they check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell that it had to been some kind of beef there because when he got the job at Colorado, he was kind of like throwing it. He was kind of like, it felt like he was throwing it in their faces, a little bit. So I kind of felt like he probably was like, throwing it in their face, like, yeah, you thought you was gonna stop this, but look what I did,
Well, it was an absence of gratitude. That's what it was. It was an absence of gratitude.
Yeah. And also, here's the other thing. I think, Mr. Ford, you touched on this in a couple of conversations over the last couple of weeks. Here's one thing about the big boys, like the Power Five, they don't listen. They push that agenda. They could have held off on making that announcement, but they forced that issue. The powers that be, when they're paying you $5 million, they want what they want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure Deion wanted to hold it till as long as possible, but those boys said, nope. Okay, we got a deal and everything like that. They know how to make things happen. You know what I mean? And force your hand. Because like you said, at the end of the day, they really, once we had you and wanted you, you and your relationship with Jackson State didn't mean that much to us.
Right.
Yep. So I think that's and when you start playing with the big boys, you can hold some of the power, but they ain't gonna let you have 100% of the power.
Right. They just fired his son, and he didn't open his mouth other than to say that he was glad. Now you let Jackson have fired his son. We'd have never heard the end of it.
Mm.
Well, now that's a little technical. They didn't fire his son. Well, his son applied for the position of director or basically over the total media for the whole university. Yeah. And what they say is no, we'll keep it separate. You can do what you do and everything like that, but we're going to control our media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of okay with that because, they're not saying, we're going to keep it football, but he wanted the whole media of the whole university. No, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of how that kind of came out. You know what I mean? It's like, and also, Mr. Ford, you're right. I'm putting in check now. Hold on. We're going to keep the football separate from the university. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of, I think a little technicality. He probably went in with thinking that, okay, I'm the media guy. I'm running all the media. No. Let's keep it how we agreed. You run the football behind the scene media. Okay?
Yeah. But I appreciate the call. Let me get to some of these other callers. Thank you for calling.
Thank you,
all
guys.
Right. Yep.
Always.
All right. Let me get to the next person. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
What's good, SWAC? You know what it is? It's Manager SESU from the chat, man. I'm back with it.
What's going on?
Coming out of love and peace, though. I was at the game. It was a very, very exciting game. That's probably one of the best games I've been to Black College. The second best probably last year when we played y'all. I think I'll just give my take on the game. I think both teams did outstanding. North Carolina Central came to play. They was ready. The energy they had in there, man. They had a lot of energy in there. They was really, really focused. From what I can tell, they was never really flustered at all. They was zeroed in, laser focused. I think they surprised a lot of people just how disciplined and tough they were. I do wonder though if JSU had all their people from suspension, how it would have looked. I do think Central would have still won, but I think it would have been just a different game. My opinion, I think Deion cost the team this loss, man. We can look at different plays and this and that, but just the whole announcement and the distractions, the suspension, some players not being there. These are young men. They tough, but they still young men. That's a lot on them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them came for Deion. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
A lot of them came for Deion. He had made that announcement. They got away on you. So they holding a lot, man. But I think they did a good job, man. I give them a prop for sticking it out and still doing the job that they did, even with all the distraction over their head, man. The last thing I want to address was the coach talking about some of the disrespect. We say some of that last year, man. It was a lot of disrespect coming from Jackson State side. I don't know if it's the media, the fans. It seemed like everybody. And I think it really gets under those players' skin. Now, I get it. Deion himself, he's going to bring cameras wherever he goes. He can go to the bathroom. The camera's going to be there. We get it.
Yeah.
Can't nobody replicate his celebrity, not even like Alabama. Deion going to get it. But at the same time, it was a lot of disrespect thrown at those players away this year and last year. So the players felt like, yo, we play football too. So they have like an edge on their shoulder, and they kind of come in and shock the world every time. It seems like JSU always underestimates that because it don't only be the media; it be a lot of like disrespect towards the school. To the players themselves. It gets down to the bone. You know what I'm saying? It gets real deep, man.
Yeah.
And people are like, yo, what you doing? But I'm glad it turned out the way it did, man. I think JSU is going to be all right. It might take a little dip, but in my opinion, they can just build off the momentum that was had. They still the hottest HBCU football team right now with Deion leaving. People know about them. They name everywhere. You say HBCU football, you're going to first think Jackson State. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And the very, very, very last thing, with the MEAC coaches, they are very close. They have like weekly and bi-weekly conferences with each other. This is why MEAC games are always real tough. No matter if the schedule is 1-18 or 7-0, they always going to play tough games, man. They have a tough out-of-conference schedule. And the thing about them having more time to prepare, because you don't really know who you're playing until the SWAC championship is over, because you have a guess and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate the time, man. But JSU's going to be all right.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Yes, sir.
One thing I will say, Black colleges won this past weekend because that was a great game to put on TV and to show on TV. So we definitely got some points for the game. Let me get to the next call.
The most exciting celebration to this point. Now, that was some
what's going on?
What's going on, Carly? Live, talk to me.
Hello? Hey, this Gabriel from Memphis. How you doing tonight, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Hey, fellas, look, I'm gonna say this right here. Okay, so I guess I got a couple points. One, like a couple callers were saying, Deion should have been going back and forth, between the schools. He knew he had the doggone Celebration Bowl. He should have been concentrating on that. Now, because I saw he went to a basketball game and stuff like that. What in the hell all that was for? when you got a Celebration Bowl to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Blame you for
and then
like that.
and then another thing, like with Niles Gaddy, dude was 1 minute late. This is the last game of the damn season. How are you gonna suspend the man? The whole damn game? you was already short anyway. You didn't come to the game with your full arsenal, but you're expecting them to go out and win. And then my final point. Okay, even though like I said, they, even though Prime did kind of like get out close with a couple of trick plays and stuff like that. All right, it came down to one play. If he had went on the head and took the extra point, because when I saw it, I was like, please do not go for the 2-point conversion. I'd be damned if you did it. Hey, did it all season. You live by the 2-point conversion, you die by it. Because at the end of regulation, when they got the touchdown, they'd have been kicking for the damn game instead of going into overtime. Now everybody mad at that boy, the white kid, for missing that ball, right? For dropping the ball.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Had they went on ahead, took the extra point, instead of going for the 2-point conversion, you never would put that kid in that position. That boy, I think that was his first game. Damn near the whole year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he scored on that play in the Florida A&M game.
Yeah,
I think he's been injured. I think he had been injured.
Okay.
He scored.
He had been injured, but see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you never should put him in that position in the first place. Now, let me ask you this right quick, and I'm gonna go. Okay, so everybody is entering the transfer portal.
Right.
What the hell TC gonna do now?
Gonna get
and
some.
You can answer that, and I'm gone.
Go ahead, Ms. Ford.
I think that some of them kids are gonna come back. Now, I think what they're doing, they're checking to see what their value is. But some of them, I think, they're gonna probably stay in there for a while. But many of them are gonna come back. I think many of them are gonna come back.
Yeah, I think that too. Hold on just a second. Ms. Gotti, you can call back. I got you. My bad. I was trying to type it in the chat, but I made a mistake. Hit the wrong button. I got you, Ms. Gotti. You can call back. What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
Hey, Flatbuzz. Hey, Mr. Ford. This is Miss Gowdy.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Miss Gowdy, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I have a problem, and this has not been addressed. So I want to get your response on this, Mr. Ford. It's Flatbuzz. Okay, Deion is he's explaining everything when he's on the media, right? But he's not addressing his. What is she? I think she's the business partner to him. The fresh air comment. What do you think about that?
SWAC, you going first, or you want me to go first?
So I didn't hear that part. He said something about the. If I heard people on Twitter talking about it, he said something about the fresh air in Boulder, like it's not fresh air in Jackson or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, what he's doing is he's buttering up that crowd so they can like him, because if he don't win, them folks up there in Boulder gonna turn on him, and it's gonna get ugly.
Oh, quickly.
It's gonna get ugly. So what he's trying to do, he's going to all these restaurants. He's trying to butter them up. He's trying to make them like him, make them fall in love with him. So if he do start off slow, they're gonna give him some. They're gonna give him some. Some rope. So that's what I think he's doing. He's trying to butter them up, trying to get them to like him. So if he do struggle in the beginning, they won't turn on him.
Well, my parents always told me from a little boy, they said, don't burn bridges. And to me, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
He's making it so if it doesn't work up there, he might not ever be able to come back to an HBCU. Because to me, they're burning bridges.
Yeah.
They are showing that they're ungrateful. And like I said earlier, they're showing that they have no gratitude.
Yeah.
Now that's me.
Which is sad because the city of Jackson loved on the Sanders family. Like they was
did.
cooking for them. Anything. They were like the kings in Jackson. Like they could do whatever they
Well, let
wanted
me
to
ask you something. Do you remember all of that intercessory prayer they were doing when he was in the hospital?
do.
Do you remember all them people in Jackson coming together to pray for him?
Yeah.
Do you remember
Exactly.
that?
Yeah.
I haven't forgot that. They were
Yes,
doing intercessory prayer.
I just found it to be very disrespectful to the
That's
city
what
of
I'm
Jackson
saying.
and to
Lack of
JSU.
gratitude. I called it. My parents used to call it burning bridges.
Go ahead, Mr. Gowden.
That's back in the day. They called it burning bridges.
Go ahead, Ms. Gowden.
I say exactly. I just wanted to get y'all feedback on that because I hear him explaining everything about crime and stuff, but he's not addressing that his business manager was making those comments that was recorded that everyone has seen and heard.
Yeah.
So I just want to get y'all perspective on that. And thank you, Mr. Ford, and great content tonight, Swag Buzz.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
call.
And have a good night, okay?
All
You
right.
too. Bye-bye.
All right, let me get to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
How you doing, Swag Buzz and Mr. Ford? I'm Carter, and I live out here in Arizona, and I was just at the Celebration Bowl. I really did enjoy the game, and one of the things I wanted to ask about was basically, hey, look, the viewership for that game. When I got off the plane in Phoenix, the first thing somebody saw was my Jack State apparel said, "I was with you guys. And I'm doing these are Mexican people looking at Jack State. So I was more so thinking about, you know what, I wonder what the viewership on that game was and how it compares to these other bowl games and these other and even maybe the semis of the college playoffs.
Right. I haven't gotten the numbers. I'm gonna try to find it probably tomorrow. But I'm assuming that the viewership was probably real high.
Yeah.
With it being his last game,
definitely
the National
over
Black
2
College
million.
Championship in Atlanta, I'm thinking the viewership was probably right under what the NFL games were. But I'm thinking of the college games, it'll probably have a very, very high rating. I know it did last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm figuring at least 1 million views. I'm figuring
I think it's gonna be like 2, Mr. Ford. I think it's gonna be like 2. Cause if it was like, I think it was like 1.8 last year.
Seen it yet.
When it was like 1.8 last year, if I'm not mistaken, 1.8 million.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I think it probably like 2 of above.
I don't know if I told you. I had a cousin over in Korea. They watched it.
Exactly.
They saw it in Korea.
And then it was a good game.
Like every time I walk, every time I walk around out here in Arizona with my Jack State stuff on, I hear people hollering prime time. I said, no, Jackson State. Jackson State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
I appreciate
great content tonight, man. I really do enjoy your show and enjoy your perspective with you and Mr. Ford, man. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
What up, Swag Buzz? Mr. Ford, this is Doc Holliday, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm just getting off of work. First of all, I'm gonna say the thing about the game, man. We got outplayed on Saturday. You know, running game gassed us. Man, they gassed us up the middle on both sides. It didn't matter where they was going. We couldn't stop the run. That was first and foremost. And then two, like I already, I've said on my show, I said, man, for grown people to attack their kid because he dropped a pass, which would have just tied the game instead of making it a win, it would have been more serious if it was for the win, but it was to tie the game into overtime to go into another overtime.
Yeah.
For say, but my whole thing is you as a kid, you're still 21 years old. Don't matter what it is. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody came and attacked one of your kids, you'd have been up in arms too. So kind of do, just be respectful about the whole thing.
I don't really think that was Jackson State fans though. I think those were people that was Coach Prime fans. That was outside the HBCU community that was doing that. I don't really believe it was like Jackson State fans doing that. Because think about it,
But cyberbullying is a national problem. Period. Now
they've been bullying me.
It goes on every day. Cyberbullying and threatening people, and I mean that's just one of the things with that social media. I mean, it just goes on all day, every day.
I get death threats all the time on Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, so they always threatening me and stuff. So I don't really be care. They get mad at all the stuff I say.
Well,
that's how it is.
So it ain't even that serious about that, man.
Right.
But as far as looking at all the kids that went into the portal, I said this on Twitter. I said the portal can give us and it could take us.
Mm-hmm.
But also you gotta have a backup plan. If you don't get picked up by any of these, those Power 5 or G5 schools, you know what I'm saying? Swallow your pride. You might have to go back.
I think a number of them are coming back.
Yeah, you might have to go back to Jackson State.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come. I think they just went in to see, who's biting or who's interested. But I think a lot of them are gonna come back. But I still say the portal right now for me is secondary. The most important thing now to me is TC gonna surround himself with quality championship coaches? Because let me tell you something. I think somebody said today, it's like 7,000 kids in the transfer portal. Wasn't that the number?
It's more than that. It's more than
that.
I think it says like 13,000 right now.
Whoa.
Wow.
So I still say transfer portal right now is secondary. The number one thing is TC has to surround himself with outstanding quality championship coaches. We don't need nobody to come to Jackson State to learn how to coach. We need people whose resume says quality and championship. That's the kind of people I want him to surround himself with.
No, you correct, Mr. Ford. You said that on my show Saturday night. You correct.
Yeah.
You correct with that, but it all depends. And I feel like he's gonna feel like his coach have a problem when he get back in from a winter break in January. So he's not. I don't think TC's not in a big rush. He's not in a big rush, but as far as fans go, fans want, we want to know what's going on like right now.
Well, now Blue told me that it's signing day Wednesday or Thursday. The first one, the early one, is it Wednesday or Thursday?
I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah, because Blue was saying something to me about that the other day.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they will sign some players Wednesday, right?
Right, they'll sign some players Wednesday.
Right.
What I say, you should have his coaching staff intact, like before national, like the big signing.
Oh yeah, the big one is February. I think it's February 3rd, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll see what's up. And like I said, we don't know what the kids in the portal gonna do, and you never know. We might just see some gems in the portal and just go take them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be some gems in there.
Yeah.
It's some gems in there.
So to all Jackson State fans, don't be worried about the kids that's leaving school into the portal, or the kids that's going into the draft. The ones that's going into the draft, I'm gonna give them my big ups because they deserve what they did what they did. They deserve all the accolades, to be going to following their dream.
Yeah.
Just the portal, like just basically, we could find some gems, like they found some gems in the portal when Dion was here. People found some gems in the portal taking over the coach. But
no doubt.
We got a good show. I'll probably go on live tomorrow, so y'all check it out.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, have a good night.
Soul Survivor said, Swagbull, they mad with you trying to take up for Dion. Let me tell you, Dion fans are mad at me. They mad at me now. You know, they got mad at me today and was coming at me sideways because of what I said. What I said I didn't agree with the way he left with how it ended. And so, you know, I've been supporting the Sanders family all this time. And once I say one thing negative, the mob comes after me. But it's all good. Let me go to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, listen, I'm a first-time listener. I'm really enjoying your show and your podcast. I was at the game. I was at the game on Saturday, and I would just like to say that as a former high school player and quarterback, I really didn't think that that Jackson State went to Travis Hunter as much as they should have, with him being a wide receiver. I was noticing the DB that was covering him a lot of times when they would have him out on the corner one-on-one, and that DB, he couldn't really, to me, he couldn't stick with Travis.
Right.
And so I was really, I mean, I would have threw him the ball until they, until they decided that they could to cover Travis.
I really think
they should have threw the ball to him much more.
The O-line wasn't holding up enough for Shedeur to like really look for him like that, in my opinion, because he was on the run under duress for a big portion of the game. Now that last pass of the game, he should have threw it to Travis. Just let him make a play. If you're gonna put your season on line, put it on your best player's shoulder. That's what I would have did.
I just feel like he's a generational talent.
Yeah, I hate to see him go.
He's just a big time player. He's everything that I saw him in high school. I saw him in those All-Star games. He's everything that they said he was and more.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big timer. He's what you call cream riser to the top type of player. The bigger the game is, the greater he plays.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of them kind of guys.
And you say he's from Georgia?
Yeah.
Well, he's originally from Florida. He was moved here to a place called Sewanee, Georgia. He went to a high school called Collins Hill, but he's originally from Florida.
Okay, I got you. Well, I appreciate the call in, and but like I said, I know that Sanders was struggling as a QB in that game as far as passing, but I think they should have went to. From what I saw, the DB he wasn't covering Hunter. He wasn't covering that well at all, and I think Hunter had speed on this guy, and I was noticing that the DB he had speed on this guy, and I just don't think I think they should have went to him more.
Yeah,
I really do.
I tell you, I like to add that I do believe he's first round.
I think he's gonna be top 5. Honestly.
Yeah.
Top 10 definitely.
Really do.
I think he's gonna be top 5 or top 10 because he's a game changer. He literally changed the game. He literally took over that game this Saturday. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even came back.
He missed the ball. He actually should have had a pick 6.
Mm-hmm.
He baited him. He thought that the guy thought that he had beat Travis, and Travis made up that yardage so quickly, and he had his hands on it, but he missed it. I mean, he dropped it, but that would have been a pick 6. It would have been a pick 6.
Let me get to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, SWAC Bug? Mr. Ford, how you doing this evening?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, brother. All right, real quick, SWAC Bug. Let's talk about the real big elephant in the room. Coach Prime is 0-2 in bowl games.
Right.
This is the second year in a row that the MEAC team has basically told the SWAC, okay, you getting all the prime and all the shine, but we winning the trophy. This is the second year in a row that the offensive line from Jackson State, where the O-line coach and offensive coordinator did not make any adjustments. Shedeur Sanders was under duress quite a bit, just like he was last year in the Celebration Bowl. And nobody made any adjustments. Now, if with the 22 players that's in the portal, how many of those players are actually starters? Do anybody know?
And
no.
I think it's up to 30 something now, isn't it? Isn't it up to 30?
I
The
think
number's
like
30?
I think like a third of them are starters, but most of them weren't.
Okay.
I don't think so.
A third of them are starters, and they all transferring to Colorado, or they
No.
Only
They
the
going
best.
elsewhere.
Only the best ones going to Colorado, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a few going to Colorado. Yeah.
Now, let's transition to with Coach Sanders going, Coach Prime, whatever, going to Colorado. Now, does he realize that he's going up against 4 stars and 5 stars from USC, UCLA, Oregon State, and Washington?
And don't forget the conference champions, Utah.
Yeah.
And Utah. And so, my thing is, I think his arrogance, I think it's going to humble. He's going to get humbled out there.
No doubt about it.
At Jackson State, he knew that he can put a squad together, and the SWAC had to catch up. I think next year, if he would have stayed, the SWAC was going to catch up with him, whether it been a Southern, whether it have been FAMU, or even possibly Grambling, because Grambling is making big moves down there now.
Yeah.
So I think that, his arrogance, got the best of him. And the way that he's throwing slick shade at Jackson, hey, man, Jackson is not that city where you want to throw some slick shade at that, So I wouldn't do that if I was him. The best thing for him, hey, I got my money. I'm moving on. I'll see y'all on the other side. But, this slick shade, these press conferences, Coach Sanders avoided basically the black media for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then when he actually gave a press conference, it was back to the same old shucking and jiving, selling this dream, this, that, and the third, which, that's what coaches do. But look, man, you have already threw enough shade at these people that actually cook for you for Thanksgiving. When your stuff got stolen and broken into the first, remember when they first stole his radio? Mm-hmm. The citizens of Jackson went back and got that radio. They said, hey, look, you took that from somebody from us. Give it back. See, stuff like that, even though it was wrong for them to break into it, them people really did support and love Coach Sanders. And I don't blame them for being upset. Now, you said when I was listening earlier, SWAC Buzz, about how the media will turn on you. Colorado is not going to give Deion Sanders 3 years to win them Pac-10 or Pac-12 championship. He got about a hot, good year. All that he's doing right now, that's just to get him up in there, and they thinking that he's going to bring this dream team of athletes in there. You got to remember, USC is on the come up real big. In this day last year in the Pac-12, them and UCLA. Now, do you really think that they want to lose to Deion Sanders last year? Yeah. Leaving that school, they gonna try to throw everything at that man, including a kitchen sink.
Yeah.
And when that
everybody
media,
gonna be trying to blow him out.
When that media turn on him, you don't have that HBCU community to sit there and say it's okay to pat you on your back because you're talking too much trash about HBCUs right now. And last thing before I go, to all the fake little content creators, I hope y'all go to Colorado too, because most of them fake content creators have never even stepped inside of an HBCU stadium or a school. They just got on this bandwagon in the last 3 years, and they are just trying to crash HBCUs. I'm like, how can you crash us and you ain't never been into us?
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Y'all have a good evening.
All right. Thanks for the call. Especially those big platforms. Those big platforms I've been seeing with like 200,000 subscribers and the O'Shea Duke Jacksons, the Jada Blacks, Pink Lessons, these huge platforms getting on here talking crap about HBCUs, just saying some of the most disgusting stuff about HBCUs y'all have ever heard. And these are black people doing this with big platforms and big followings. It's crazy to me. I never it was infuriating just to even listen to it, So it's people like that's doing this stuff because they're Deion fans and they're making it seem like, oh, black schools, black people are always gonna try to bring a brother down. They always gonna try to bring him down. They hating on him because he's going somewhere and getting more money. That's not what it is. Jackson State people are not hating on him for getting more money. We would congratulate that. It's just the way he left is what rubbed people the wrong way, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Jackson State is the reason he got that job.
Yeah.
Nobody else would hire him. He went down and interviewed with Arkansas. They didn't have anything for him. They wouldn't even talk to him at Florida State. They talked to his representatives. They wouldn't even talk to him. Jackson State is the only school that took a chance on him. Jackson State is the reason he got that job in Colorado.
Right. Let's see who the next call is. Hold on. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
What's good?
Hey, how you doing?
Am I on?
Yeah, you on?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Am I? Okay. My thing is, you got
to turn the show off in the background.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are we good now?
All right.
Okay. My thing is, I'm definitely a Deion fan. I'm definitely, but I have followed HBCU football to a certain extent. My thing is though, is that a lot of people that supports the HBCU community, it's like all of a sudden they're mad. But at the end of the day, this is a business. This happens every day. This happens every year. This happens every day in football. So it's like, people are like, I'm just mad how he left. I wish he would have just stayed and did. But it was like, to me personally, it's like, I don't think he had the resources to stay and do much more than he already had done. Now it's to the point that if he stays, and then if he stays, it goes to the point now of just me staying just to please everybody.
What he's gonna do at Colorado? Are we actually think that he's gonna play for a college football playoff? I mean, championship? Are we thinking that he's going to be able to compete with the Alabamas, the Clemsons, and all that? He's going to go to a bowl game, I believe, but I don't believe that he's going to take Colorado and win a national championship. I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, but maybe he's not expected. See, people now who have a bad taste in their mouth for Coach Prime is now, I bet he ain't gonna go win no championship. He's not expected to go in the thing and win no championship in 2-3 years.
What I've been seeing from them Colorado folks, they expecting him to bring them back to prominence. They expecting him to bring them back to where they was in the late 1999, the 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I expect it too, but it takes time. He's not gonna do it in a year. He can't do it in a year.
I don't think they're gonna give him. They're not gonna give him that time though.
They have to because
they give him the same amount of time they gave Willie Taggart at Florida State. They gave Willie Taggart 15 games.
Hold on, he was out. Whoa. Willie Taggart had much more to work with. Do you see what he's working? Do you see what Prime Time coming into now? You see what he's coming into? That team was 1-something. Like that team was trash. So it's like they know what they got. They know what he has to turn around. They got to give him that time. The thing about it is like we didn't expect him to do this at Jackson State to be 20-something and 5 in 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I really just think that there was nothing else left to do to stay for, but stay. He was offered a better position. He was offered a bigger job. Now it's like people. I mean, he's gonna get a championship, but he's going in and giving black coaches bigger opportunities. He's the first ever HBCU coach that's been hired by a Power 5,
and that's a slap in the face.
And he's going in.
That right there, what you just said, is a slap in the face to every great HBCU college coach. That you gotta be Deion. You gotta be Deion Sanders to get a job at a Power 5. That's what they telling you. That's the message. You gotta be a super black man to get a job at a Power 5. That's what you gotta be. It ain't too many other Deion Sanders.
But that ain't his fault. for being who he is.
No, it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault, but we have to call out the system. We have to call that out. You know,
well,
we just can't be happy.
We already know how the system is.
Yeah, we just can't be happy that he got a job when we see the corruption and that it's unfair.
No. We're not happy that he has a job, but we're happy that he's taking advantage of the. Sometimes it's about you get a job. Sometimes it's about taking advantage of now what you have. It's like that he's bringing in other black coaches and assistant coaches and other black. He brought the black guy to the trainer, Julius in the weight room, to train the black guy. He bringing in other black people now that wouldn't have these jobs, that wouldn't have these positions. They would never be at that level. I don't think TC would have ever been at that level if it wasn't for Prime. I don't think he would have ever got that job. He been Jackson State.
If Coach Prime would have never came, TC would have been a coach eventually. Anyway,
I doubt it.
Yeah, that would have happened. They actually told Coach Prime to keep TC because in the beginning, you know, Coach Prime was getting rid of all the coaches, but they told him to keep TC because TC is the future of Jackson State. So he was gonna be the coach anyway.
It sounds good now. It sounds good now, but I don't think that was gonna be what it was.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Let me get some of these other callers.
For sure.
All right, thank you. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you taking my call. I love the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something right quick as far as moving forward. You know, I don't want to bash Dion because he's an individual.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we gotta try to protect our collective black institutions. And one thing I want to bring up is the only difference between HBCUs for the majority of the part and these PWIs, especially in the Power Five, is the machine behind the program. Like Dion even said it when he was here. Where is the money that's coming in? Now, I'm not saying money that's coming into the university. So my thing is with these NIL collectives, they become a chip that we can use to put product on the field. I mean, that's basically what they're used for, to pay players to come to these schools. So I'm encouraging everybody to do research on NIL collectives. And I'm encouraging all our Jackson State alumni, the people in the city of Jackson, the people who love Jackson, to do some research, and let's try to organize a massive collective for Jackson State to pay these players, to make sure they have the proper nutrition and weight facilities, so we can put a great product on the field year after year and help build this institution that's going to help rebuild this city. So I just wanted to let everybody know, look, we don't have a lot of money, but we can make up for that lack of millionaires with our massive numbers. So I just hope that as we take away from these calls, do our research on these NIL collectives. Grambling already has one, you know, so let's do our homework and come together, put our heads together and put our little bread together and try to make a difference for the university and put a better product on the field that can happen year after year after year. Because eventually we know Dion was going to go. But if you look at schools like Ohio State, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, you know what I think they should do? I think they should have it to where they should have a program to where you can get, let's say, $30 taken out of your account every month from every alumni, every Jackson State fan or every alumni. $30 out your account every month, and then you get half off all tickets. Like all your tickets that you buy, you get half off or something like that. Have an incentive for them to give every month. I think that would be great.
Well, let me say this though. You can't give money to the school because the school can't pay players. Because at the end of the day, even if I agree with you saying as far as donating to the school, But you have to have your NIL collective that's independent from the school in order to pay players. Because the school can't do it itself.
Yeah. But I think something like that, they just have to be creative. The money is there. Black folks got money. Don't think black people don't have money. Because when if it's something we want to buy, we find a way to buy it. So they just have to get creative with raising the money.
$2 trillion in disposable income.
Yeah. Well, let me
think that one of the things
Go
we
ahead.
lack is organization. But go ahead, my brother. Go
right.
to the other call.
All right,
Thank
thank
you for taking my call.
All right. Also, shout out to God Saw Beginning and Nose In for the contribution to the channel. Thank you for that. Also, shout out to DJ Raw Uncut Truth for contributing earlier as well. Shout out to my guy Hoop Jargon for contributing to the channel. He's a HBCU alumni as well. He went to Prairie View, so make sure y'all go check him out as well. Let me get to the next caller. Oh, y'all. What's going on, Caller Live? Talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, you on live.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Say, man, look, this is what I don't understand about this whole thing. How is we as a people totally unconcerned about building our own institutions and keeping uplifting ourselves? We encourage and congratulate people because they get a job to go and build white institutions and build white people up. How we totally unconcerned about building our own self up. I don't understand this, man. I don't understand that at all. Of course, I understand that those are the policies that we are following from the civil rights movement, whereas that was the objective, to integrate into, meaning that white people would come in and get the best from among us, like we the G League or something, and take it and bring it to them. And meanwhile, we ain't got nothing. I don't understand that. And I don't understand how we as a people subscribe to those policies. I don't understand that. I'm gone.
Thanks for the call. My guy came in here, Rick Shop, and just went on the left, but I agree with what he's saying.
He's got a point there.
Yeah, he got a point. We like to build up their platforms.
So many of us are brainwashed.
Yeah, we like to build up their institutions because what Coach Sanders is about to do is build up and make Colorado rich. When that money and that fame and that popularity could have went to Jackson State, could have went to a black school and black institutions. So, it's why do we feel like we have to go there and build up their institution? That's a good question. All right, let me go.
It's called a slave mentality, plantation mentality.
Yeah, I mean, because when you think about it, what do we do? What do we do when we become successful? What neighborhoods do we move in? That's just what it is. We move into their neighborhoods. We move closer to them, and I don't know what it is about us. And I understand when you want to level up and you want to have the finer things in life, but it's nothing wrong with being around your people. Like I live in the DMV area, and there are black communities in the DMV area that got it popping. They got nice houses, everything, nothing but black folks around in PG County. It's a lot of, the Waldorf area is really getting a lot of black people now, but these people got money, they got houses, they got nice areas, nice neighborhoods. So we can actually have nice things. We don't always have to run to, white institutions and white neighborhoods to feel like we're doing something. But let me get to the next call. What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC Buzz, how you doing, brother?
Doing great.
Hey, Mr. Ford, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. This is Chris Tapp out of San Antonio, Texas. Well, guys, I see both sides of it. Would I have stayed at Jackson State? Yes, I would have stayed. Give me my $300,000. Y'all can keep y'all $5 million a year. Okay. I have one kid. I can understand trying to leave your kid a legacy because he got kids. He's gonna have grandkids. And the book I'll read says a man take care of his kids' kids.
Right.
Guys, I remember playing when I played at Langston. I came in the year Matthew Hatchett had left. I played with Noel Scarlett. I remember asking Noel one day. I said, "Bro, how the hell at homecoming we got 5,000 people inside the stands, but our weight room is up under the damn bleachers? And in the summertime, Mr. Ford, there's no AC. And in the wintertime, in the summertime, there's no AC. In the wintertime, there's no heat. So you look at the funding, right? And so when Coach Prime was basically saying like, okay, well, where's the money going? I talked to a buddy of mine who was at Lane College back in Jackson, Tennessee, the same thing. Guys, I'm gonna look at an individual sport, whether it's golf with Tiger Woods, tennis with Serena Williams, Michael Jordan. The greater the athlete, the lesser the patience. Okay. I don't think that Coach Prime, although Florida State is right across the street from FAM, you're down the street. I really don't think he understood the culture of when you're dealing with us and finances. It has always been an issue with HBCUs. I think some of the things he was trying to get done, SWAC Buzz, Mr. Ford, they wasn't getting it done quick enough for him.
Yeah.
The greater the athlete, the lesser the patience. Now, one of the other callers has said, HBCUs, we have alumni who got money, and I think that's where Coach Prime was going. And then, guys, we forgot something. Here's one thing that no one ever talked about. Mr. Ford, SWAC Buzz, I have Deion Sanders' Wikipedia right here. Do y'all realize that as long as he played pro sports, he's never stayed nowhere longer than 5 years? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I always saw Coach Prime staying at least 3 years, no more than 5 or 6. So when he said there was never going to be a tombstone with my name on it, let's look beyond conversation. Let's look at this man's pattern of behavior.
Right.
He has my Cincinnati Reds. I'm from Cincinnati. Fellas, he has never stayed anywhere with any pro sport longer than 5 years. The Dallas Cowboys and the Falcons, but when he played for the Yankees, when he played for the Reds, the Giants, these other teams, guys, even when he coached football, he's never been nowhere longer than 5 years. And I think the frustration and irritance was getting to him, especially when he claimed he was giving money back. Fellas, I have a buddy who lived in Madison, Mississippi. Big ups to Jackson State and all the alumni. There's a lot more to this than I think that we see and know. Now, do I agree with Coach Prime leaving? Hell no. I am HBCU through and through after junior college. But I understand. I just don't simply agree. I understand why he left. I don't agree with it, and I think it's bullshit. Excuse my French, white buzz on your platform. Yeah. But I do understand it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't begrudge him for going. I wanted him to do what he wanted to do. If he didn't want to be in Jackson, then go where you want to be. Okay? Because I know that Jackson's going to be all right. And I know that they've been doing great things in Jackson and at Jackson State for many, many years. And like I told him before, he's about 55 years old, I think. Listen, Jackson State was started in 1877. They've been great for what, almost 150 years or more. So Jackson State's going to continue to be great. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ford, SWAC Buzz, I'm going to contradict Coach Prime. Fellas, and everybody on this call, I think Coach Prime really did want to be at Jackson State. I really do think he wanted to stay. But again, guys, I told you what I said to Noel Scarlett back in the late 90s. It's always been an issue trying to ice skate uphill, dealing with finances and the powers that be at some of these HBCUs. I love them. I support them. But again, the greater the athlete, the lesser the patience. Imagine being a Deion Sanders trying to get something done, but it always seems to be something in your way or some BS excuses like, guys, I didn't come here for this. I came here to elevate this.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Ford, SWAC Buzz, you know yourself now, as far as moving conferences, you know in college football, you can move a team to a conference, but the other teams stay where they are. And I think that Coach Prime is wanting to move the football team to a different conference, but all the other sports can stay in the SWAC. And I think he got kicked back for that. I I just don't agree with the shade that he was throwing on Jackson State in the interviews that he did. Mr. Ford, I don't know how old you are, SWAC Buzz. At one point in time, back in the 80s, guys, and early 90s, Buffalo football did reign supreme. A lot of the best black athletes in the country, they went to USC, they went to Colorado, Nebraska, Notre Dame. So, you know, Eric Bieniemy, Rashawn Salam, I shouldn't say his name, Ray Cruz, all those guys played at Colorado. I know Buffalo football can reign supreme again, but I think there's a lot more to it, fellas, than this story. And like Coach Prime said, more is going to come out. My whole thing is don't throw shade the way that you've been throwing shade, and don't bring God into it. Because Lord know if they would have been doing what you requested, you would still have your black ass at dang on Jackson State.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
Hey, Swag Buzz, appreciate you, bro. I love your platform. Mr. Ford, good day to both of you guys.
All right,
Thanks, gents.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to take 3 more calls, and then we'll shut it down. What's going on? Call me live. Talk to me.
Hey, what up, Select Buzz? This is Jerome from Charlotte. Hey, Mr. Ford, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. So I'm not going to hold y'all long. I just wanted to bring a different spin, kind of change the tone a little bit. So, you know, initially it was shock value for me, you know, and I'm good now. I look at it from a different perspective. It was definitely a mutually beneficial marriage. One thing I can say from this past weekend, shout out to the National Alumni Association from Jackson State. They were able to raise a lot of money, and they made a donation to the president during the alumni mixer on Friday. Shout out to Jackson State for providing this platform. Like, Jackson State has always had a big brand in the HBCU space, but I think with this elevated Celebration Bowl, people are just now becoming familiar with our fan base and how we support. So I do want to thank Coach Prime for that. I do know that now Jackson State financially is in the best shape our institution has been in its history. I do have the numbers. You know, we're going to put them out on social media later this week. But we look great when it comes to fundraising for the GAP Fund, fundraising for the athletic department, scholarships, et cetera. We're definitely moving in the right direction. I do know anytime you're sports teams, and this is across the board, whether you're PWI or HBCU, anytime you're winning, that is when you see the highest giving, not just from alumni, but from supporters and, you know, locals, et cetera. I want to thank Coach Prime because he gives us a different lens a little bit. And I think one of the lessons he's taught a lot of people directly and indirectly is something that I teach some of the kids that I mentor. Always CYA. You know, regardless of what anybody feeds you, regardless of what anybody tells you, always CYA. And that's what he did. He did a great job of controlling the narrative, getting in front of things, you know, regardless if it was true or false. And I hope that HBCUs, we can take a look at what he did so masterfully, and Jackson State to an extent as well, and copy that blueprint. I think he showed all of us the importance of social media and how we can effectively utilize it to not only sell our athletic department, but also to help sell the university, to increase enrollment, et cetera. So there's a lot of good things that I take away from this kind of Coach Prime era. My question is, where do we go from here? You know, there's definitely, I won't say necessarily a blueprint, but I will say there's some best practices that Jackson State and Coach Prime were able to exude while they were in bed together that I hope a lot of HBCUs are able to implement. Of course, social media, of course, maybe hiring someone that has some name recognition to be able to recruit. But where do we go from here? You know, he exposed all the bad contracts that, you know, we're kind of subjected to with these classics. So that was a plus. It definitely generated a lot of conversation among our alumni. But where do we go? You know?
The good thing about it, I mean, from a athletic point of view,
Thank you for calling, bro.
You probably got the best AD in the HBCU, man. You got the best. I believe that President Hudson is very competent. I think you're in good shape now. As far as that football program, I will continue to say this. The number one priority is for Coach T.C. Mitchell to Coach T.C. Taylor to put together a championship staff.
Yeah.
If he puts together a championship staff, I think he can surpass what Dion did.
Yeah.
But he's got to put together he's got to surround himself with championship coaches, not coaches who never won it, but coaches whose resumes say quality and championship.
All right, let's see what this is. What's going on, Cardi Live? Talk to me.
How you doing there, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
hello.
Yeah, you're on live.
All right, my name is Duron Tross. I as a former, I'll put it this way.
You from Louisiana?
What's going on? I think. Yes, I am from Louisiana.
Oh, okay. What's up, Duron?
Hey, I'm all right, man.
Yeah.
What you need to look at in the transporter. You said tonight, someone said tonight there was like 13,000 people in there have access to the portal. Right now, there's a total of 1,300 players in the portal.
Yeah, I think he
once
might
you
have
put your
said
name in the
13. He might have got it mixed up, 13,000, 1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,300. I mean, once your name is in the portal, it takes anywhere from 48 to 72 hours for your name to clear from a compliance issue in the portal. Having worked in the MEAC, and I'll say that I used to officiate in the MEAC. There's a different brand of football in the MEAC than you have in the SWAC.
Right.
In the MEAC, it is a bully football. They believe in running the ball. It's a more physical football than in the SWAC. The SWAC is everything now was for the spread offense. But if you look at the offenses in the MEAC, they run the ball. And there was a blueprint out. There was a blueprint out there how to beat Jackson State. Yes, there was some coaches met, and they were not happy with the way the media played out the whole Dion situation. If you look at Trey Oliver, you didn't see ESPN following Trey around.
No.
Hell, they let the kids off in the street. A block away from the stadium.
He said that in a press conference that I was in. He said that. He said they dropped them off on the street.
They totally disrespected the MEAC, the media. So for the MEAC, this was something they came to town to beat the SWAC. This was all about pride.
Right.
And it was all about pride, but at the same time, Dion, he creates a media. I'm not going to bash him. He's a good brother. I met him. I think he's a nice guy. But at the same time, there was a lot of distractions. Sam, Buddy, and the rest of the folks for the coaches of the MEAC, they got together and said, "Hey, this is how you beat this guy," and that's what they did.
Yeah.
They came and they beat him. Now Jackson State is going to be okay. I really think with TC. He's a great guy. I met him when he was at Central. But what's going to happen? What needs to happen from the administration, from Jackson State, they need to give him the same type of support in order to get the people that he needs. I think someone said tonight that he needs to hire a good staff. Well, to hire a good staff, it's going to take money. And I hope, and I'm not hating on any HBCU. I'm a PWI. I will admit it. Both of my parents are HBCUs, and my kids are HBCU graduates. But at the same time, the alumni is going to have to step up and support Love TC to give him the same type of support. And guess what? You guys are going to be all right. I think someone said Jackson State been around since 18, whatever. Guess what? Jackson State's going to live. It was living before Dion. It's going to live after him. Peace out, guys. Have a great night. I've enjoyed this show, and I just ran across it. It was on YouTube, and I'm going to subscribe.
All right. Thank you, Darren.
Well, I have subscribed. I'll be a regular listener. And good luck, guys. Jacksonville is a great place to live. You guys going to be all right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me go to the next caller. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, SWAC Buzz? It's Matthew from Minneapolis. How you doing, brother?
What's going on? Going good.
Oh, chilling. Just wanted to talk about the game.
Go ahead.
And wanted to. So, I honestly think this game was lost because of coaching, and then coaching again. Let's hone in on the defensive line, and let's also hone in on like how some defensive players played, and then let's hone in on the personnel decisions, right? So, and I encourage everybody to go watch the Campbell versus North Carolina Central game, and then go back and watch the Celebration Bowl all over again, and then see some. So watch NCCU versus Campbell, then watch Jackson State versus Campbell, and then see the difference. So Devontae Davis played right on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
But you notice he didn't play. He didn't get that many snaps, right?
Right.
We needed size, and we needed beef on the interior. Josh Griffiths didn't play because he was in the transfer portal. That's on Dion. Niles Gaddy, what's understood, they'll never need to be explained. It's in the portal. Mr. Ford astutely brought out how Jason Mercier, it's interesting. In that Bearcat defense, they sometimes light him up over the center, or he's 6'5", 238 pounds. And Mr. Ford was right. He was getting dealt with the entire game. And John Huggins, right? In my opinion, I think John Huggins is outside of Greg Great, which we don't know what happened to Greg Great. We know it looks like Greg Great might have been injured for the season, right? So John Huggins hasn't played since the Campbell game. He didn't even play against Southern in the SWAC championship. So he comes back. He's healthy. He gets a couple of snaps in this game. Why did he not play over Shiloh? And then I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm a huge Cam fan.
Come on, you know the answer to that.
Aubrey Miller fan. But Aubrey Miller had his worst 2 games against Southern and against NCCU. Jerriante Davis played well, but I promise you, we can't get no do-overs. If we put some beef on the interior line, I mean, you start Devontae Davis, you start Josh Griffiths, you put Niles Gaddy in there, because Jeremiah Brown and Jason Mercier, they got handled. They just got handled. What say you, Mr. Ford, and what say you, SWAC Buzz, on that?
I've said from day one, North Carolina Central's offensive line that I saw Saturday is the best offensive line I've seen in HBCU football this year. I thought they were dominant. I thought they were fundamentally sound. And I told everybody, I feel that the offensive line coach at North Carolina Central has head coaching potential. And I would be surprised if Oliver's able to keep him. Because it's obvious that guy's a great coach, man. Because the way that offensive line looked Saturday night, that's not only they fundamentally sound, but they mean, they come down. Because like you said, they was headhunting Aubrey Miller now. Oh, they didn't have no fear of him. They was coming to get it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the caller. Thank you for calling and supporting the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this last call. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Everybody close out the chat, hit the like button, and open the chat again. It only takes a second, and it's free. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
Wonderful.
Go ahead. Well, you might have to turn the sound on in the background. You're gonna have to turn the sound off in the background because it's gonna mess with the conversation.
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
I did. I was calling to give my views about the game. I think it's horrible that they are blaming that young man for dropping the ball. That was not the end of the game. Shador Sanders also had another opportunity to pass the ball, and he threw it out of bounds. I actually noticed that they missed 2 tackles. Basically, JSU could have won that game, and they could have won by 48 points. But they gave up so many opportunities to make a touchdown. They missed 2 tackles. I mean, they just wasn't on their game. So
they didn't deserve to win.
They're not. Huh?
I said they didn't deserve to win. The NCCU played a better game. They deserved to win.
They prepared for the game, and they gave up the game. JSU gave up the game. But at the same time, a lot of guys did not show up, was not there. The full team was not there. So it seems like some of the guys was ready to come and dominate, and some of them just came just to just show up. But at the end of the day, they had a great season. They stressed me out, and just the whole drama, the saga. I got to take a break from JSU. Y'all are all in control. It's just been too much. So anyway, it was a great season. It was a great game, and at least they won the SWAC. So yeah. So that's what I wanted to call and share in.
All right.
Share with you guys.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Have a good.
Thank you for the call. All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Gonna get this last one then, Mr. Ford. I'm gonna let you close us out.
Okay.
What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, SWAC bud?
Hey, how you doing?
So good. So my question is, put it in the super chat that we keep putting this on Dion, but we're not talking about that the SWAC is 1-6 in the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
And Grambling is the only team to win, and that was early when the Celebration Bowl started. So really, when I really look at this, Dion really just fit in with what all the other SWAC coaches have done when you're looking at the history out of 7 bowl games.
Yeah.
And the SWAC only got 1.
Yeah, I mean, but he went undefeated overall. That's an accomplishment that hasn't been done. That hasn't really been done in the SWAC. I don't believe. I want to say I don't think Mr. Ford. I don't think no team in the SWAC has went undefeated overall, right?
You mean during the season?
Like
season?
like undefeated. Won the out of conference games. Won the conference games. Won every game.
I was thinking that Southern did it under Pete Richardson, right? Didn't you Southern people? Didn't Southern go undefeated one year under Pete Richardson?
Somebody might have a fact.
I need to go back and check that. But I thought, yeah, he said somebody right here said Broderick Favre did it.
So he went undefeated overall. So he beat all the out of conference teams.
Wait a minute. Now I remember he lost the game to Arizona at the beginning of the season, but he didn't lose anything else.
Yeah, see, I'm talking about undefeated
and I know
overall.
That was the year that they won the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah. So somebody said not overall. So yeah, I think Coach Prime was the only HBCU coach to go undefeated overall in the SWAC season. So that's an accomplishment.
Right. Well, that's an accomplishment. But I think when I'm seeing here, and I'm paying more attention to the MEAC, and I was this year. What's happened is I think the SWAC has been so focused on winning the SWAC championship, and when it's coming to the Celebration Bowl, it seems like the SWAC teams are the prima donna teams. We got the best bands, we got the most fans, but then these boys coming out these MEACs. Those 6 schools in that conference, they just coming out more hungry. They came out more aggressive. From the game, the way they was running, it ain't nothing you can do about coaching when those guys is able to throw your guys around. It's the same reason why when you remember Dion talking about not playing some of the bigger schools yet, because what did he say? On the outside positions, we good. Yeah. But the inside, we gonna get ate up every time. I'm up here in Michigan. I got some big boys going to U of M right now out of high school, 6'5", 350.
Right.
And that's the difference.
You remember Woody Hayes said the game is won and lost in the trenches. That's the difference between the MEAC and the SWAC. The MEAC puts a lot of emphasis on the trenches, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and that's where they beat us. That's why we're 1 win and 6 losses, because the MEAC always comes in with better interior line play, whether it's offensive or defensive. You got to remember, everybody in the SWAC, they go 4 wides, 5 wides, they're air raid, they're spread offense. We're more finesse. We want to light up the scoreboard. The MEAC is smash mouth football, okay? Ground and pound. That's what the MEAC is all about.
So,
and the kids, if you like somebody was saying earlier, Central was bigger in the defensive line than Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
They were bigger.
Yeah. Somebody.
Right. So when you think about it, the MEAC team is like the old Eddie Robinson team where he had them big boys down in ground.
That's right. They ground and pound. They ground and pound. What they want to do, they want to run it 70% of the time, and then they want to throw it 30% of the time. Well, we're just the opposite in the MEAC. In the SWAC. Some SWAC teams want to put it up 40 and 50 times. They want to throw the ball 40 and 50 times.
So let me say this real quick.
Another thing.
Let me say this real quick. So I'm looking at Pete Davidson's record. Somebody said, Richardson. I'm sorry, Pete Richardson from Southern's record. Somebody said that he did it overall, and I don't see on here where he went undefeated overall. He went 12-1 in 2003. He went 11-1 in 1993, 11-1 in 1995, 11-1 in 1997, 11-2 in 1999, and 12-1 in 2003. So he's never did it overall either. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just think it just comes back down to when you're talking about winning championships and you're going against teams that's bigger up front, because one thing you notice, the referees in this game was allowing North Carolina to be physical, and I can tell that some Jackson guys, they wasn't ready for that. They was thrown off kilter with dealing with those guys. As well as, I got to give credit to this. It seems to be more unity in the MEAC, because the MEAC actually had all of their coaches, including Buddy Pugh, down on the sidelines from North Carolina Central.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
that's right.
SWAC coaches, they wasn't there. It seemed like, with Dion, and I'm happy for him taking opportunity, but it seemed like to me, the other things, like I said, a lot of things that Dion even faced coming into it. But let's be honest, a lot of these coaches did not want him coming in, even though him coming in elevated. Homecoming sold out that they never sold out in 100 years probably. But that's why I felt like when Eddie Robinson Jr. said he ain't SWAC, that was personal. I think what he said was what a lot of coaches wanted to say. They just didn't.
Yeah.
And he just had the balls to say it. And here it is. At the end of the day, we won in 6 in the Celebration Bowl. And what's going to change it next year? Whether
let me just say this about
or FAMU there.
Let me tell you this about Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. If he would go out and get him a championship offensive coordinator, he can take over the SWAC. He has everything but an offensive coordinator.
I agree. I agree.
I've seen him. He has a offensive coordinator down there, basically, who wouldn't be good if he was in a junior high school.
All right. Thank you for the call, caller. Mr. Ford, can you go and close us out?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can go ahead and close us out.
Yeah, listen, I personally feel that next year's season will be greater than this season, because I think there's going to be more parity. And the thing that I'm looking for and what I want is I want more quality championship coaches to come into the SWAC, whether they're offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, position coaches, analysts, whatever. We need championship quality coaches in the SWAC. We need more of them. And I'm going to say this again. If Coach T.C. Taylor surrounds himself with experienced championship coaches, Jackson State can continue to dominate the SWAC. Listen, y'all have a good night, okay?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Ford.
All right.
All right. All right, y'all. That was another show, another episode of SWAC Buzz Live. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Make sure y'all hit the like button because it's very important. What is Charles saying? Richardson compiled a record of 134 and 62 in his tenure at SU and won 4 Black College National Championships. He also won 5 SWAC titles. Oh yeah, he's one of the GOATs. So yeah, respect to Southern. They had their time. They definitely had their time. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all supporting the channel. You know, we're gonna be ramping things up. Things are gonna slow down a little bit because it's the springtime, but you know, we're gonna be keeping the news in. I'm gonna be doing recruiting videos and stuff like that when recruits sign. Because you know, we definitely gonna want to know who's coming to Jackson State. So I know y'all gonna want to know about that. So we'll definitely be doing videos on that. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. Gone.